Okay, so let's dive into this AI Jesus thing.
Sounds good,
You sent over a bunch of articles about this exhibit in Switzerland.
right?
We've got like the Associated Press,
Yeah.
the Register, the Guardian, even some Swiss publications.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot of coverage.
They put an AI chatbot inside a confessional.
In a historic chapel, no less.
It's kind of wild when you think about it.
Definitely makes you think.
Our mission is to figure out what happens
Okay.
when faith and AI
Yeah,
collide.
I like that.
What were people asking this AI Jesus?
Right.
And what kind of answers were they getting?
Well, for starters, the exhibit itself
Yeah.
was called Deus in Machina.
Okay.
It was set up in the Peterskapelle,
Which is,
the oldest church in Lucerne, Switzerland.
wow.
It ran for a couple months,
Oh, wow.
late August to late October 2024.
And they put it right inside a confessional booth.
Yeah, like the real deal.
It's such an interesting mix.
Right.
You have this old tradition,
Yeah.
the confession, where people go to seek guidance.
Forgiveness, too.
And then you put this cutting-edge technology right in the middle of it.
An AI chatbot.
Yeah. Does the setting enhance the experience,
That's a good question.
or does it take away from it?
I don't know. What do you think?
I'm not sure yet. I'm still processing it all.
It's a lot to take in, for sure.
It seems like they're really trying to
Yeah,
get people talking about technology in our spiritual lives.
exactly. And this exhibit happened right when the world was going crazy for AI.
Especially those chatbots.
Like ChatGPT.
Yeah, those things are everywhere.
I know, it's crazy.
You see people using them for everything.
Writing poems, emails even.
Code.
Yeah, you name it.
So how do they actually make this AI Jesus work?
Well, they use some pretty advanced technology.
I bet.
You know, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
This was powered by something called GPT-4o.
Oh.
Even more powerful.
Wow.
And to understand what people were saying,
Uh-huh.
they use Whisper.
Which is...
Open source, so anyone can look at the code.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So someone steps into the confessional,
Right.
sees a screen with like a digital Jesus.
Hmm.
They talk to it through a microphone.
Yep.
Did it actually talk back?
It did. It was designed to hold a conversation
Oh.
in real time. It could communicate in over 100 languages.
Get out. So people from all over the world
Yeah.
could have talked to this AI Jesus.
Potentially.
Did the articles mention
Some did.
what people were asking?
The AP article mentioned a visitor
Okay.
who asked about its message for a troubled world
That's a big one.
and whether AI could help people find God.
Wow. So what did it say?
The AI said that all knowledge and wisdom come from God. Acknowledged that AI could be a tool
Okay.
to explore creation, like looking deeper into scripture.
So it wasn't dismissive of AI,
No, not at all.
but it didn't say AI was the answer either?
Right, it drew a distinction
Stop. No,
technology and faith.
it's like AI's part of the journey,
Yeah.
but not the destination.
Exactly.
What other questions do people ask?
Let me see.
Okay.
The Register article mentioned a visitor
Mm-hmm.
who asked why women can't be priests
Ooh, that's a tough one.
in the Catholic Church.
Yeah. How did AI handle that one?
It focused on the different roles
Okay.
men and women play according to scripture.
Interesting.
Then it shifted gears, asked the visitor how they could promote peace and harmony.
In their own life.
Right.
That's a really interesting approach.
It is.
Like, it's encouraging reflection
Yeah.
rather than giving a straight answer,
More about prompting deeper thought.
than laying down the law.
Exactly.
Now, there was another story I found interesting.
Oh, yeah.
A journalist from Swiss Info
Uh-huh.
was struggling to write about this whole exhibit.
Oh, wow.
They went to the confessional
No.
and asked the AI for advice.
I love that.
What did it say?
I'm curious.
The AI said it's remarkable to think about faith in the modern world. The core of faith remains unchanged amidst technology and rapid change. That's powerful.
Love, hope, and faith are important.
Wow.
Consider how technology can strengthen or question faith.
It's like it's encouraging the journalist
Yeah.
to look beyond the technology.
Right. It's not about replacing faith with technology
But how they interact.
and influence each other.
Exactly.
So we've heard about the questions and the answers.
Yeah.
What about the impact of this exhibit?
Did people take it seriously, or was it more of a gimmick?
Yeah. What were people's reactions?
Well, over 900 conversations were recorded.
From what?
Over 1,000 interactions.
Mm.
Visitor reactions were all over the place.
Really? Like what?
About 2/3 of the visitors who filled out a questionnaire
Okay.
said they had a spiritual experience.
That's a lot.
Some found it really thought-provoking.
Uh-huh.
Others thought it was more of a publicity stunt.
So it was a mixed bag.
Definitely.
But that's still a lot of people
Well,
who
yeah.
felt a connection,
Yeah.
even if it was through a machine.
I guess it shows you how people react differently to technology and faith.
Some were open to the idea.
That you could have a spiritual experience,
With AI,
while others just couldn't accept
it
it.
has a real interaction.
Right.
Did anyone have negative reaction?
Yeah, were people upset about this?
Some visitors were really put off by it.
Hmm.
Some even left messages in the guest book,
Oh, wow.
calling it blasphemous.
Blasphemous.
Or the work of the devil.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah, they were not happy.
It seems like this AI Jesus really got under people's skin.
It definitely stirred up some strong emotions.
Are we at a point where technology is challenging?
Our ideas about religion.
I mean, this exhibit in Lucerne,
Right.
it's not an isolated incident.
You're right, we're seeing similar things.
Like what?
Well, just last year,
Oh.
a church in Bavaria used a chatbot for deliver sermons.
A chatbot giving sermons.
Yeah, it caused quite a stir.
I bet people were worried about replacing
The human element.
of worship.
Right.
So using AI in religion is gaining traction.
It is, and it's not just Christianity either.
Really?
There are examples in other religions, too.
Like what?
Well, in Japan,
Uh-huh.
some Buddhist temples
Yeah.
are using AI robots to
Yeah.
perform funeral rites.
Robots performing funeral rites.
I know, it's pretty wild.
What's driving that?
It's partly due to a shortage of priests.
In Japan.
Right.
But it also makes you think about
What's essential to those rituals?
and whether technology can really replace.
The human touch.
I imagine it's a really different experience.
For the families.
Yeah, definitely changes the dynamic.
This whole conversation makes me think
About
we might be on the verge of a major shift.
in how we practice religion,
I think you're right, we're seeing the early signs.
of how AI could change everything.
From how we worship to how we grieve.
It's not all good though, right?
You're right to be cautious.
There have to be some downsides.
Like any powerful technology,
Yeah.
AI has the potential to be misused.
What kind of risks are we talking about?
Well, one concern is that AI could be used
Mhm.
to manipulate people's beliefs.
Like how?
Imagine an AI system
Yeah.
that targets individuals
Have
with
what?
personalized religious messages.
Tailored to their vulnerability.
Yeah, hopes, fears.
That's kind of scary.
It's a real possibility.
It sounds like something out of a dystopian novel.
AI could spread misinformation
Or even propaganda.
under the guise of religious authority.
That's unsettling.
It is.
What else should we be worried about?
Another risk is that AI could erode human connection.
In religious communities.
Exactly.
So if people are interacting more with machines,
They might be less likely to engage with each other.
and religious communities thrive on
Human relationships,
shared experiences.
a sense of belonging,
We don't want AI to create.
a more isolated form of religious practice.
So what can we do to make sure AI is used responsibly?
One of the most important things
Yeah.
is to talk about it,
Have open conversations.
about the ethics of AI in religion,
And we need to have those conversations now.
before the technology gets even more advanced.
So this isn't just a conversation for religious leaders.
No, this is a societal issue.
It affects everyone.
We need input from everyone.
Ethicists, technologists, policymakers.
The public, too.
We need to be thinking about this now
And shaping how AI is developed and
in
used.
these sensitive contexts
Exactly. We need to make sure AI is used
to enhance human well-being.
and promote the values of our faith traditions.
So we're not saying ban AI from religion.
Not at all.
It's more about being thoughtful.
And responsible.
It's like any tool.
Right.
It could be used for good or bad.
It depends on the intentions of the people using it.
So it's up to us to decide.
How we want to shape the future of AI in religion.
These are some heavy issues.
They are a lot to consider.
It leads to some even deeper questions.
About the nature of faith itself.
What do you mean?
If we can interact with an AI
Okay.
that simulates a religious experience,
Does that change what it means to have faith?
does it make faith too easy?
That's an interesting point.
If we can just get answers from an AI,
Does that take away from the struggle?
the searching, the questioning.
That's often part of a spiritual journey
Right. It challenges us to think.
about what genuine spiritual seeking really is.
Is it about finding comfort and certainty?
Or embracing the unknown
Wrestling with doubt?
and evolving in our understanding of faith.
Maybe AI can help us explore those questions.
In new ways,
It's possible
by confronting our assumptions.
about the nature of faith
AI could help us engage with our beliefs.
in a more authentic way.
It's like this paradox.
Yeah.
AI, a creation of human intelligence.
Could help us understand ourselves better.
And our spiritual impulses.
It's fascinating to think about.
It opens up possibilities.
For new forms of religious expression.
Like that VR chapel we talked about.
Exactly. We're living in a time of incredible technological advancement.
And it's going to transform everything.
Including our spiritual lives.
It's exciting and a little scary.
It is, but we're not just passive observers.
We have the power to shape how this technology is used.
We're not just along for the ride.
We're steering the ship.
Exactly, and the choices we make today
will determine the role of AI in our spiritual lives tomorrow.
So what are some of the key questions
we should be asking ourselves?
I think one big question is, what role do we want technology to play in our spiritual lives?
Right, like, do we want it to just add to what we already do?
Or create totally new experiences?
Yeah, and what about the impact on communities?
Like, could AI bring different faiths together?
Or could it make things worse,
Yeah.
deepen those existing tensions?
It's a lot to think about. No easy answers.
This deep dive has really shown how AI is making us rethink some big things.
Faith, spirituality.
Even like the search for meaning in life.
It really changes how you think about our relationship with technology.
Looking at all this stuff about the AI Jesus.
Yeah.
What really stuck with me were the reactions from the people who actually went to the exhibit.
Oh.
It would have been easy to just brush it off.
As a gimmick.
But so many people had these really profound experiences.
Sure, remember 2/3
of the visitors said they had a spiritual experience.
That's huge.
Some people were really moved by it.
It felt like they'd connected with something real.
Even though they knew it was a machine.
It makes you wonder if we're being too narrow-minded.
About where spirituality comes from.
Does it always have to come from a priest or a church building?
Or could technology help us connect?
To something bigger than ourselves?
It makes me think about people who feel disconnected.
From organized religion?
Maybe they've been hurt by it.
Or they live far away from a church or temple.
Could AI offer them a way to connect with their faith?
On their own terms?
It's a possibility. And it makes me think about the future of religion.
How will it keep changing?
Throughout history, faith has always adapted.
To new technology.
The printing press, the radio, the internet.
They all changed how we connect with our beliefs.
So maybe AI is just the next step.
It could be, but remember what we talked about earlier?
About being careful and thoughtful.
We have to be aware of the risks.
The importance of human connection.
And the need for ethics.
We can embrace the possibilities.
While still recognizing the potential downsides.
What role do we want AI to play in our spiritual lives?
Where do we draw the line?
What values should guide us?
These are big questions.
This AI Jesus exhibit really makes you think.
It does. It pushes us to rethink some really basic things about being human.
Our faith, our search for meaning, our relationship with technology.
What does it mean to be human in an age of intelligent machines?
And how can we make sure technology serves our deepest values?
It's something for all of us to think about.
So much to ponder. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Until next time, keep diving.